enough to want to make work optional. The housing crash of 2026. That's what this video is about. The problem is, most of you watch so much doom on your doom scrolling that you think I'm going to talk about the housing crash where prices go down, and that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 4 reasons. I am going to give you 4 reasons why the housing prices are possibly going to crash up in 2026. Crash being, more than 8% up or down in a year. Here's 4 reasons why you should avoid the crash bros to talk about prices going down. Because if these things happen, prices will go up. 1, people are talking about the 50-year mortgage, and it doesn't matter if you think it's good or bad, whether it's going to happen or not, because we're not going to fix the world. What we're going to do is say, are we going to use this or not? Because the average person right now has 5 or 7-year car loans, and they would do 10 if they were allowed to. So there's a lot of people that are looking at their mortgage thinking, I'm going to lower my payment by doing a 50-year mortgage, because most people can understand that Freddie Mac did a study that from 1970 to 2024, 90% of equity came from appreciation, not principal pay down. And if you understand the Cantillon effect, then you know that borrowing money and using it before inflation happens makes you rich. So people will use this, whether you will or not. Who cares if you do? Other people will. And when they bring down how much they have to spend each month to buy a house, there is a boo. Don't get nature on me. When you can lower your monthly payment, you do not buy a bigger house, you pay more for the same house. So prices could go up if the 50-year mortgage becomes a thing. The second thing is Jeremy Powell is set to leave the Fed as chairman of the Fed in April. Trump gets to a point who goes next. Now, yeah, there's 12 positions and this is just one appointee, but Powell hasn't wanted to lower their interest rates. But what if we do get somebody in there who can crack the whip and get interest rates lowered? What happens if interest rates lower? Same thing as it happens with the 50-year mortgage. If the interest rates are lower, people can pay less every month, which means they don't buy more house, they pay more for the same house, which means prices could go up. Yes, refinances will be attractive. People can pull out equity. People can 1031 into a bigger deal. People can finally unlock some inventory because they're in the rate trap from those 3% or less mortgages that they got in 2020 and 2021. Now, if interest rates go down and the 50-year mortgage thing hits, what do you think is going to happen? The real estate crash of 2026, where prices will go up. The third thing that is only happening in a few states now, but sometimes, like when California does something, their toxicity spreads to the rest of the country. There are some states that are trying to get rid of property taxes. If we get rid of property taxes in those states, people will not buy bigger houses. They will pay more for the houses that they have, which means prices will go up. You can buy, you can cash flow, you can pay more. If you get a 50-year mortgage with a better interest rate, or if the interest rate is what it is now, because it'll be higher than a 30, but it'll be where it is now, and you don't have to pay property taxes. Imagine the cash flow you can bank on the rental properties that you buy. Or the home buyers, who are the biggest competition for investors, can pay more every month for their properties. And then the fourth reason that this is something I've been harping on, and we had a window of opportunity. Since 2020 to 2024, remote work has been more of an option than at any point in our entire history. So what I did is I bought 2 properties after 2021 that were further out, because remote workers can live further out. They didn't push up property prices because they didn't want to buy. They might get called back to the office. But since they were further out, they can get a better place and pay less than they had to when they had to live where the work was. But now, with 44% of people being able to work at least some part remotely, I'm not saying you're going to come to this amazing country of Thailand and live geo-arbitrage, where I just had 2 drinks and a meal for 200 baht, whatever that is. I don't know. You could do that. But there are people that have to go into the office once or twice a week. They can live 45 minutes or an hour out. But it is stabilizing now. The fourth impact to the real estate crash of 2026. We have 50-year interest rates that could be a thing. We have lower interest rates that could be a thing. We have property taxes going away. That could be a thing. And then you have people who can make Seattle or New York or San Francisco money, and they can live in Tacoma, or Tecumseh, as we call it. They can live in Lake Hood, Washington. You can move to a place where a 3-bedroom house used to rent for $2,000 or $2,500 from a city where you would pay $4,000 or $5,000 for something similar, except now you're in a neighborhood you can actually walk in at night. You can let your kids play outside. The quality of life that will change if we get things like the 50-year mortgage, and yeah, some people will panic because they do not understand finances. They do not understand inflation-based debt destruction and how guys like me would do a 1,000-year mortgage even on a primary house. And the last thing I want is a paid-off house, because only 10% of equity comes from paying off your debts. Equity comes from owning a property long-term. And then you get better interest rates. Look at how many investors and home buyers benefited by buying in 2020 when the crash buzz were saying, hey, it's the end of the world. It's all going to crash. Doom scroll some more and lose hundreds of thousands of dollars because you don't take action. But I'm telling you right now, what we're going to have is a window of opportunity. For the last few years, I bought properties that were further out because the prices hadn't been pushed up because remote buyers didn't want to buy, but the rent went up. What we have now is a window of opportunity. Pay attention. Will interest rates come down? Will the 50-year mortgage be a thing? Will property taxes go away, either where you live or where you invest? It doesn't even have to be in the state that you live in. It could just be where you want to put your money to work so you don't have to. And will you bank on the fact that more remote workers are feeling confident in their ability to keep their remote job and not get called back to the office? This is a nice short video that I'm doing in probably the middle of night back home because I didn't even check what time it was. I'm in Bangkok, Thailand right now, in one of the largest outside museums in the world that is actually designed in the shape of the country. And you can see many things here that represent what you see everywhere else. You should come hang out with me. You guys have a day full of amazing. I'm going to try to do a live stream next Tuesday at 4 o'clock Pacific where I actually do answer all of your questions. That video will go as long as the questions do, even though it will probably be 2 o'clock in the morning for me because it's a 17-hour difference. I'll have to do the math on that. Have a day full of amazing.